What's going on, Fight Fam? So today we're going to be discussing the upcoming fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. This fight is happening July 19th, and I'm going to be giving you all my exact breakdown as far as my method of victory, and we're going to take a look at the odds, and I'm going to let you all know if I'm going to be betting on this fight. Now, this fight is actually a rematch. The first fight, Oleksandr Usyk won by stoppage in the ninth round. But it was controversial because Daniel Dubois caught him with what appeared to be a punch on the belt line earlier in the fight, and Oleksandr Usyk went down. Ref ruled it a low blow. Oleksandr Usyk had about 5 minutes to recover, and then after that, it was pretty much all downhill for Daniel Dubois after that. I mean, it still stayed somewhat a competitive fight. Daniel Dubois did get off some more body shots, but other than that shot, Oleksandr Usyk controlled the entire fight. So let's take a look at each fighter's stats, and then we'll go more in depth with the fight prediction and analysis. All right, so Oleksandr Usyk, he is 23-0. He is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, also the number one pound for pound fighter in the world in a lot of people's opinion. He is 38 years old, 226 pounds is his latest weight, 6 feet 3 inches, and his reach is 78 inches. Now, Daniel Dubois, his record is 22-2. One of those losses comes to Oleksandr Usyk, where he was stopped in the ninth round. He is 27 years old. His latest weight is 248.6 pounds. We can round that up to 249 pounds. Height, 6 feet 5 inches, and his reach is 78 inches. So he has 2 inches on Oleksandr Usyk in the height department. However, they have the same reach. Now, we know Oleksandr Usyk for being extremely technical, having excellent head movement, having impeccable footwork, being able to change levels, and being able to use those angles. Also, he has an amazing gas tank. His volume and his constant pressure often wears his opponents down, and then he just continues to break them down over time. Now, with his most recent victories over Tyson Fury, those were huge fights for him because they were in the heavyweight division with a guy that was way bigger than him, but Usyk's skill set is able to neutralize all of that, anybody's size, anybody's power, because Usyk is a very smart fighter and he has excellent ring IQ. Now, the first fight between Daniel Dubois and Usyk controlled the entire fight using all of his skill set. I mean, the jab was working to perfection. He made sure to have the proper foot placement that you need for a southpaw going against an orthodox fighter. And then he applied constant pressure, but also did an excellent job of evading Daniel Dubois' punches and making him miss on a lot of the shots. Now, one thing that does concern me with Oleksandr Usyk is he is 38 years old. In boxing, we know Father Time is undefeated. However, if you are a fighter that takes care of your body, takes the sport serious, and you are focused on the sport, then you typically last longer than other fighters. And I think Usyk is that type of fighter. Like, he's been fighting since he was a kid. He's always been a professional, always taking it serious. So I don't think he has the same wear and tear from somebody that, in between fights, blows up in weight, is constantly out partying and drinking. He's not going to have that same wear and tear. And he doesn't have long layoffs. So he's staying in shape and he fights, when he's ready. Once he's recovered to go back into the camp, he immediately gets back to work, and he's been very consistent throughout the course of his career. Now, Daniel Dubois, we know Daniel Dubois for his power. I mean, his nickname is Dynamite for a reason. So he has power. He'll be looking to land the big shots. Now, obviously, early on, Oleksandr Usyk is going to have to be careful not to get caught with big shots. Usyk did get caught a couple of times in the first fight, but it was nothing that hurt him. But Daniel Dubois started throwing the 2 and then following up with the 3, also known as the cross, which is his right hand straight down the middle, and following up with the lead hook, which when you're orthodox going against a southpaw fighter, that's a good punch to throw. And the hook caught Usyk a couple times, but After that, Usyk started evading it or just moving out of the way of the punch. But I do think Usyk needs to be cautious of that because the thing at the heavyweight division is all it takes is one shot. I mean, Daniel Dubois is massive. He's huge. So, and he's very powerful and explosive. So he'll be looking to land a big shot, but I think he's going to try to press Usyk earlier. And then also, even after that controversial punch to the belt line, Daniel Dubois started throwing more to the body, and you could tell it seemed like it was impacting Usyk. A couple times, Usyk looked at the ref and was like, "He hit me low," but the punches weren't low. So we know Usyk, if he has any weakness, it's going to be softness to that body, which we even saw when he was in the amateurs and he fought Artur Beterbiev, and I believe Beterbiev dropped him with the body shot when they were fighting in the Olympics. So if there's any weakness, I would say it would be that. But he overcame the body punches from Dubois, and he stopped him in the ninth round. So Usyk's ring IQ, I think, is just too superior for somebody to rematch him and then him not do better than he did in the first fight. Like Usyk, I mean, he dominated the first fight. Again, outside of that controversial hit, he completely dominated it. So he's already been in a ring with Daniel Dubois. In the second fight, Usyk is going to come back even better because he knows this guy's tendencies. The only way Daniel Dubois, in my opinion, can win would be is if he knocks Usyk out. And that's a huge if. He has to catch him first with a good shot that's going to hurt him because Usyk is tough as nails. And Usyk is aware of Dubois' power. He's aware of his tendencies. And I'm sure he's aware that Daniel Dubois is going to try to go to the body early and often, in which I think Usyk is going to be countering him off of those shots and just wear Daniel Dubois down. Now, I do see Usyk stopping Daniel Dubois again in this fight. I think it'll be a late stoppage between rounds 10 to 12. I just feel like in the first fight, we saw Daniel Dubois kind of start to fade in the later rounds. And also, he quit. So if you quit in a fight, I think mentally there's something there. Like, if you could quit, it's going to be easy to quit again in a fight because you've already done it once. So there's going to be this thing in your head where you're getting hit, the fight's getting tough, and you might just quit again because Usyk hit him with a jab. That was the shot that ended the ball. Like he got dropped prior to that in the previous round. I think the eighth round. Then in the ninth round, they're going in. I think it was like a minute 49 seconds left or a minute 50 seconds, something like that. Then he hits him with a jab. The bar goes down, and he gets a 10 count. It's like crazy. So I'm like, if you quit on something like that in a fight of that magnitude, you'll definitely quit when we're looking at fighting for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Now, that's not to say anything negative about his boxing ability because I respect anybody that is willing to get in the ring and lay it on the line. But when guys quit, I just think mentally there's something there that if you quit once, you'll do it time and time again. All right, so let's look at the odds for this fight. So I'm in Florida, so I use the Hard Rock betting app. Now, I'll be honest, we don't have the best odds for these fights or the best prop bets available. But normally for big fights like this, we do get similar odds to the bigger books. So if your book's odds are a little different, it's because I'm in Florida and we have to use the Hard Rock app. Now I do have another app that I use that's like an offshore type of app, but I prefer the Hard Rock app just because it's more convenient. All right, so let's go ahead. So we're going to look at the odds. We got the fight happening July 19th. And if you all already bet on this fight or if you're leaning a particular way, please share down in the comment section below what you all think of this fight. And then we'll begin to, I'll respond in the comment section and let you all know if I agree or disagree. I mean, and obviously you all don't have to follow my picks. That's why I want you to share yours so that we can have some sort of discourse about it. All right, so first up, Let's see. So we have Oleksandr Usyk minus 325 on the money line. Daniel Dubois plus 260 on that money line. I think those odds are fair. Now for the winning method, Oleksandr Usyk by KO, TKO, or DQ is plus 105. That's the option that I think is going to happen. So if you bet 100 on that, you win 105. 100 turns into 205. Oleksandr Usyk by decision plus 200. That was pretty sweet odds too. The tie plus 1600. Daniel Dubois by KO or TKO or DQ plus 400. Daniel Dubois by decision plus 1000. So if you think Daniel Dubois is going to win, personally, I think the smart bet on that would be to bet him by KO, TKO, or DQ. Because I don't think there's any way he's going to beat Usyk by decision, personally. Then we also have a fight winner three-way option, which eliminates the tie. And normally those are better odds, but for this fight, they're actually for Oleksandr Usyk, they're the same, minus 325. But for Daniel Dubois, they're plus 275, which is weird because they should be better for Usyk. They're only better for Dubois. Never seen that before. All right, now the fight to go the distance. No is minus 165. Yes, plus 130. I like no there, the minus 165. I don't think this is going the distance. I think Usyk is going to stop him late. Now, total knockdowns. These are prop bets that I like, especially in the first fight. You have two knockdowns. One of them we'll take it away because if we were to count the Usyk knockdown, it would have the fight probably would have been over if that was like a legal punch. But it still would have hit the prop bet that I'm about to share with you. So over zero point 0.5 is minus 250. Under is plus 180. Over 1.5 knockdowns, meaning it's going to be two knockdowns, is plus 140. Under 1.5 knockdowns is minus 190. Now, in the first fight, there were two knockdowns. So for this, a prop bet that I'm doing is the total knockdowns minus 250, but I'm going to put that in a parlay to make those odds better. The parlay that I choose, I'll post it to my channel like I did last week so you all can see exactly what I bet on. Now, they have things in here like Oleksandr Usyk total knockdowns, Daniel Dubois total knockdowns. Now, I'm not touching those prop bets just because that's like gambling. Like that's getting too deep into the weeds for me there. All right, so now we're going to look at the round props. So total rounds that they have. So if you are betting over 10.5 rounds, it's minus 110. Under 10.5, minus 125. Over 9.5, minus 135. Under 9.5, plus 105. For me, I want to stay away with the round props in this fight because I think it just depends on how aggressive Dubois comes out on when Usyk is going to stop him, in my opinion. But because if Dubois comes out and kind of takes his time, then I see a late round stoppage. But if he just comes out like attacking Usyk, I think that he might get him out of there sooner than round 10. But again, I'm not betting on that. So my money on this fight is I'm taking Usyk money line minus 325. That's going to go in a parlay. And I'm taking over zero point 0.5 knockdowns and another parlay. So either fighter should get knocked down and just one person has to get knocked down. Sorry, I said one person. That's two. Just one. There just has to be one knockdown. Either fighter. And those odds are minus 250. I like that a lot, but I love the Usyk on the money line. Only, like I said, the only thing I'm worried about is him being 38. But I mentioned earlier with his lifestyle and things like that, that shouldn't be an issue because he is a true professional. So that is going to be a lock for me. That Usyk money line. I'm gonna find some other fights that I'll discuss on the channel. We'll be discussing the Sebastian Fedor Tim Tszyu rematch happening. Also, we're going to talk about the Bam Rodriguez fight, and there's a fight on this undercard here. Well, it's the main card, but it's Daniel Lappin. He's actually a guy that was at camp with Usyk. I'm going to talk about that in the video, and we're going to get this parlay cracking. All right, let me know what you all's picks are for this fight. Who do you all see winning this rematch? And I will catch you all in the next video. Don't forget to like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.